Hello everyone. We are live at last. Alright, how is everybody doing? Hopefully this is all working now. So, who do we have in here? Yeah, apologies for that. There's some weird thing going on with YouTube. I don't entirely know what it was. It still had another stream running in the background. For whatever reason, and it wasn't the one that I was trying to run, so I don't know why that was like it was. But anyway, Mr. Brownberg, yam, why am I saying yam, jam, Mr. Super, CMDR, P, Mark, Alessio, Emma, Pedro, Elias, welcome everybody, welcome. Okay, can't hear me. I'm sure you can hear me. Young Super's just trolling me. Oh, you had me worried for a second there. Yeah, I've got my water. Oh shit, no I don't. I don't have any water, I'm empty. My water bottle is empty, I'll have to go and fill that up in a minute. I should probably fill that up very soon. But anyway, yeah, welcome. Alright, we will go over, of course, a little bit of price action today. And yeah, we'll see what this New York Open has in store for us, because we are now just 2 minutes away from the Open, so we've got to do a quick whiz through stuff. I actually feel as if this session we're going to see a move up. We did have the move down, so in my daily update that I did this morning for the crew, I was saying that this daily level was inevitable. That it was going to get tested. Okay, you have the inefficiencies down at the bottom here. It was inevitable that this was going to test. And then we still see, look, this was the narrative that we've been talking about all week. Where did we close the monthly? Right, where did we close yesterday's monthly candle? Right at that previous monthly. Trying to figure out whether we're going to have that bearish engulfing or not. We came down, we tested it again, had that bounce, a little bit of a deviation below, and now we are holding again. So this monthly level is just everything right now. So at this point, I am like actually looking for long positions going into this session, with basically the invalidation being down here. So I have taken a long this morning. It wasn't as we came into that, but it was off of this second low when we did come back down again. Had an opportunity to take profit at daily open. I tried to get into a short position from this high, but never got filled. Okay, I don't know if this actually got filled on the USD pair. No, it didn't. So yeah, tried to get that short position. That never happened, so that never came about. And I'm looking for another short if we can take out the high of the day so far. So if we are going to move up towards around about 20,200, then I will look for a short position. But yeah, as I said, I am long. I have compounded since we came back down here again recently. So this just being the typical, right? There's your, it's not going to show the golden pocket. There's your open. So it is now New York Open. So you come into the 618, the golden pocket, get a bit of a bounce from there, back into the daily open again. And it feels to me as if we are starting just to form, give a nice little squeeze here, with this being a potential spring down off of all of these like almost equal lows that we had throughout yesterday's session, in order for us to get that move up, to take out the high of the day so far up towards this value area high of the range. So we will see if that happens. It is obviously now New York session, so we will have to have a look at what is going on the SPX, and we are still continuing to whoopsie. Yeah, so we have continued just to fall down. It actually looks like a really kind of nice descending wedge here we've got on the S&P, so we can draw this a little bit like, there's quite a lot of space here, but we do have quite a clear structure that is forming off of this. And for myself, I do believe that if we can break through and start to build a little bit of momentum to the upside, this would be a move back up towards that 41.30 region up at the highs. So although I do feel as if September could be a potentially quite a bearish month, I am looking for upside through this session and maybe going on over the next couple of days. So get that initial move up in order to get those long positions in order to, yeah, generate a bit of liquidity, and then we can dump it later on in the month. And it's a very, very similar situation here on the NASDAQ. So yesterday we were looking for this daily level to get hit. That is exactly what it's done. Again, filling in inefficiencies down here. You've got another wedge off of this. So it is a similar situation on the NASDAQ where I am looking for a move up before a move down. So I would like to see basically, yeah, that. Like that. Ping, ping. Okay, and then see, yeah, where we can go from there. So start off kind of bullish, and then we'll dump it down later on. That is the plan. That is the plan. So yeah, let's see how things go. Getting a bit of a move down on open. Accumulation schematics on ES and NQ. Yep, I would agree. I would agree with that. It's got to be holding here, so you've got to hold a higher high, higher low. But yeah, you have your spring. You have a selling climax from yesterday. A little bit of a spring, rallies to the top of the range. You test it again. You come back above, and now we're coming back down into basically your golden pocket region here. This is actually just going to fill the gap as well. So we've had this gap here for a while. So we are going to go for this gap fill. And then potentially look at a bit more movement to the upside. BTC is on a 9 on the monthly. Interesting. That is quite interesting. So if we've got... let's move over onto this. I'm going to throw this on. TD sequential. We are indeed on a 9. So in order to break that count, I believe in order to break that count, you've got to go like 4 candles back and be taking... Is it? Yeah, you'd have to... I can't remember. I can't remember. I mean, it's done a 9 here and had a mad bull run afterwards. So I don't know how accurate this is, to be honest. Look at that. And then it was like, wait, okay, cool. We've got 4 more months of bull run left. So this could take us all the way down to 0, but yeah, who knows? Interesting to see. I'm going to label this as the monthly open. Because it is the monthly open. Where are we? Over here, cool. Is this on? This is strange. So I currently have this showing that we're at VWAP, but we're not. So from a volume-based perspective, we are apparently at the VWAP, at the session VWAP. That is news to me. And there's our move up. Cool. It's because I'm looking at ETH. Ethereum's at the session VWAP, guys. Not Bitcoin. That's interesting. I'm so thrown off. Yeah, I know. Oh dear. Venerio, can you look at Lunar C later on in the stream? Probably not, but I might have a look at it. Honestly, why would you try and trade something like that or look at that at the moment? I'll see what's going on. I know it's up like 100% or something today, right? So we have had a move into the VWAP on Ethereum, which also looks pretty good as we're going into today again. So we have a similar situation where you've had a nice sell-off, created some divergences at the low. Okay, so this is on the 8 hour, it was on the 4 hour. It was on everything. You have nice divergences forming, and we seem to be holding a higher low at the moment, which is looking fairly good for Ethereum. This being a high volume node for the whole range. And again, I do think that we can be seeking a little bit more upside before we do see any further move down. ADA Robin Hood. You guys are talking nonsense. Right. I'm actually, because I got completely thrown off of the stream not working, I am just going to go and quickly fill up my water bottle. I will be back in just a second. It is hot again. It's very warm and humid today, so I will be back in 1 minute, and then I'll feel a bit more alive because I won't be dehydrated. Okay, I'm back. Do you also see 5 waves finished on BTC and ETH? What, to the downside? Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about the fact that this could be a potential end of a 5th wave, and then you're going for a corrective move back up for a while for sure. I'm going to stick to the lower time frames and stuff for now. So, now that we've had a proper start to this stream, I'm going to just briefly go over, again, I might repeat a few things, but I just want to get back in and just give you guys an idea of what it is exactly that I am looking for from each asset, each of the major assets that I'm trading at the moment. So we'll start here on the higher time frames. I'm just going to move over onto onto Bitcoin to start with. So this is what we had been talking about for a while, right? It's inevitable. Once you've been in crypto for enough time like this, you know that if there is a narrative, if there is a story that can form and it can create some excitement, a little bit of interest within the charts, it's more than likely going to do it. Ethereum is notorious for this, for just closing like right at key levels, and Bitcoin does it quite often as well. So I just knew that Bitcoin was going to close at the previous month. It was going to be the, okay, are we in a bull market? Are we still in a bear market, or are we looking at some kind of reversal? Are we going to see another bearish engulfing candle that leads us to another 50% correction? Again, every time you have these engulfing candles, they lead to massive moves. So it was just inevitable that you would get that kind of narrative in order to play out. And it did. Like, look at where the monthly close was. People would have been looking at this, although in reality, it really doesn't mean anything for the charts. It's just very, very typical of crypto to do this. So it was so easy to trade over the past week, just knowing that, okay, if price is above the monthly, just short it, because you know it's going to close that month at that monthly level. And yeah, it was just honestly the really straightforward trading to be doing over the past few days. So we had that, and we had a nice little range that played out, and we got that close right about where that monthly level was. And this also gave us some really good trades like intraday and stuff as well. So we look at where these volatility zones come in during the New York and the London period, where we had twice in a row at these highs during that New York, during the London volatility zone, where we got that swing high after an SFP, and that initiated a move down. And then again, what you see going into New York is an SFP of local highs, and then that initiates a drop. What did we see yesterday? An SFP of local highs initiating a drop. And again, what we've seen today during that London session is putting in a pivot low. So although we've been putting in these major pivot highs over the past couple of days, we've reversed that. We've had a slow grind down rather than one of these big impulsive moves. We've put in a pivot low at the beginning of the London session, and it does look as if this New York session is going to form the reversal. So that is what it has been like over the past few days, and it's been, yeah, just relatively nice and simple to trade. So for myself, I am looking at upside. If we do continue lower, if this does fail to break out, if we do not reclaim the monthly open, and we do not start to take out liquidity, and we do not start to change market structure here, then I think the next level that I'm looking at is down here at 19,300. So if we do roll over, then I am fairly certain that these poor lows will get taken. Okay. And that we will roll over and come into 19,320. If we do break and we do start to change this market structure, so this here is the high to take. This one, not important, okay? This would not be a change of market structure. Now, so many people get this wrong, okay? And I mean, it is subjective, but so many people get this wrong. The last high that took out the low will be the pivot high that you're looking at. So from here, you have a high that forms a low, you have a high that then forms a low, you have a high. So in fact, actually, for a major change of structure, you're looking basically at this one up here, although with all of this in between being very much internal. So you formed a range. You've gone from a downtrend into a range, and what you're looking to do is for a movement back up towards the top of the range. So for me, that means that my target for any long position is going to be up towards that value area high and taking out this daily level here. Not daily level, but that pivot that we have up at the top here. That being the last high that caused a move down to take the lows. Okay, so that is your market structure change. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't change anything, trade anything in between that. What we can have is a local change of MS. So this is just on one time frame, of course, that we're looking at. So if we do go down onto the 5 minute, for example, then you can see here you've got a much more local downtrend that's forming, that then you'd have a change of market structure here that we're then coming in to form a higher low, and then we can have this move up. So we are looking at, again, local change of market structure, but on the 30-minute time frame, if you are targeting long positions from here, then you've ultimately got to be looking for a break of structure above this high. Now, this so far is the high of the day, the high of the month as we have it, so I would be looking at scalp shorts from that point as well, maybe back into monthly open, and then you look to continue that mini trend into a larger trend, okay, after that. So that is the target, and if we do get continuation, if we do change market structure, then yes, daily naked point of control is what I am looking for. So 20,680 is my main target for a long position. So I'm basically looking at, so long off of this as we came back in, whoops, the invalidation at this point would have it was fairly flexible. Okay, it could have come down and taken out more lows as well, but fairly flexible. And you're ultimately looking at TP1, TP2, and then taking things up to the highs here. And then from that point, I do think back down into the range is looking quite likely. So that is, yeah, Bitcoin. You got a nice little trend line as well here. So if we are looking on the lower time frames, you can see this is kind of working, right? So again, you have this ABC, and then we're looking for something like that to get a move back up. Yeah, any questions on Bitcoin? Obviously, this is all very much dependent on the legacy markets, but the legacy markets are doing something similar. Hershey, NPOC at 20,300. Yeah. There we go. So from the TPO, there it is. Now, I do expect these lows to get cleaned up at some point, but I don't think it has to happen straight away. So these are very likely to get taken out. But what I would like to see is a move up before we get a move down. I hope that is clear. In terms of the confluence there, okay, yeah, let's have a look. So I'll bring on the session volume. There it is. So in terms of the confluence there, it is certainly there. Oh my god, I need to sneeze. Yeah, okay. Yes, in terms of the confluence there, we do have a naked point of control. Yesterday's MPOC. Okay, coming in at 20,300. That is also the value area high of the range. And if we do this, your high down towards your low, it's coming in nicely between that 618 and that 786, closer to your 786 there. So you do have a pretty decent region. And from this, you can probably start to build something a little bit harmonic. We've actually had that fairly recently. And I mean, even this is getting a little bit deep, but you could have something a little bit deeper start to form. And then you maybe make something out of that. But yeah, that being certainly an idea. And again, you're looking for myself at any long positions, take profit one here, the value area high, which is where that MPOC is. And again, you've got liquidity there. So there's plenty of stuff going on. And then if we can break through that, then that would be the expansion from the range coming up towards that 20,680. So, yeah, anybody that is looking at that level, then I think that would be a pretty nice one. And maybe a short back into the daily point of control, maybe a short back into the monthly open, depending on if this can be impulsive. We are actually moving down again now. It'd be nice to see if there can be some kind of movement out of this. But if we suddenly get like an impulsive move that happens here, then you're going to be left with nice imbalances that take you back into the POC, which could be quite nice. If this just starts to grind and you do something like this, then yeah, you may only get like less of a movement from that short position if there is a potential short from there. But again, it's all potential, so we're not entirely sure what is going to happen with the market, but we know the probabilities of where things are likely to go and are able to trade it as such. Amsterdam, dude, looking at trading courses convinced me that you are better than chart champions. I will let. Does anyone want to comment in the chat who may have experienced other communities or anything previously? all I can say is we have a, I mean, first of all, we actually trade the stuff. So we're not just, yeah. I'll say that for a start. We are actually trading, and we do this live. So when we are doing the live trading rooms, we're talking through it in real time a lot of the time. We have a lot more of a statistical standpoint to what I think other communities do, and I think Luxury is brilliant for that. Everything that we do is based on the stats and the probabilities that have been traded for a long time. We're not analysts, again, like a lot of people within other communities are just purely analysts, and I think that's why they have just issues with people who maybe join the communities not being able to, like, if you have trouble trading, you want to actually like trade the stuff and not just be torn up by analysts that like throw on just bullshit like fib time and fractals and symmetrical triangles and things, and like a billion different lines on the chart that don't actually, in my opinion, do anything. So yeah. I'm gonna just say that, like, yeah, I think for ourselves, because we have a very much a focus on actively trading it, and yeah, in real time, then that's something I think that we do. But and that's it. It's just very much a focus on actual trading. So I'm not commenting on certainly no other places. I'm just saying. I'm so tired today, and I'm like thrown off by the stream not working earlier. Anyway, where were we? We're going over Ethereum next. So on Ethereum, I haven't been trading this much recently. I need to get back my chart. I'll do a little bit. Let's just get this all together so that I have everything on here properly. There we go. So again, the plan that I've had for Ethereum recently, we had a really nice example at the high yesterday. So as we were coming into the value area high of the range, this is something that we did during the New York session. It was the New York session that we traded yesterday, and that's why I had Ethereum on here, where we had a really nice local swing fader pattern of the local highs. Now this isn't so visible on a time perspective, but able to catch, and I can't remember who it was that was in the trading room that was able to catch that high. That was just really, really, really nice. So this was at the right time that we had it. We were looking through this live. We were looking for that reversal, and you had the SFP off of those highs. You had the excess that was up there, and that initiated a really good move down again into the kind of the typical levels that you'd like to see coming into that golden pocket region before getting a bounce there. And I think we also had the session POC at that point, the previous day POC. So we did have that move down into the previous day point of control again from this. Now, I haven't traded Ethereum today so far, so I am actually looking at this fairly fresh. So we're going to have I'm just going to do a little bit more on here, and we'll see where we are. So you've got a nice daily level down here that has not been tested. I'm also going to add this one on the chart, and I'm going to remove this. So this is something that we've been looking at as just a major low for price to be putting in. This gives us a nice order block up at the top here. I'll make that a different color, daily AB. We had the 618 from our high down to our low, which gave us a little bit of a pullback. We had our bullish divergences that were forming. So this was enough to give us a move up. Now, if we do fail here, so I'm not feeling quite as bullish on Ethereum just because of where we are caught within this range. I do think if we do get a move up, then our resistance is likely to come, and again, I've got it on here. Our resistance is likely to come around within this region once you kind of fill in some of these imbalances. And ideally, what I would really like to see on ETH is for a move back down into this 1,220 region. So although again, I do think that we get some short-term relief from the markets, and we'll see how that is going on through in a minute when we do go and have a look. I think it's dumping. Maybe. So although I do think we get some short-term relief, I am looking for a move down, and I would like to target long positions from around about, yeah, that 1,220 region here. So at the moment, it looks okay. I do think that there is, like I say, we are likely to see some kind of move up. The fact that we've had this low that got put in with divergence and we're holding here, it is the value area high of the range, so it is struggling a little bit at this point, but I do think a little bit of a move outside of that before potentially getting caught back in is slightly more likely. But from Ethereum, it's just been a bit more opportunistic, like seeing where the opportunities are there and then being able to take them. Like last week was a really good example of how Ethereum was trading. So we just continuously, we kept coming into the previous day point of control over and over and over again. So this was really good. Okay, you can see it here where you have a move up, you come back into the previous day POC, you move up again, you come back into the previous day POC, you move up again, this not being the previous day because that then got that continuation, but then you come back and you get a decent bounce off of that POC before initiating a move to the downside. So we keep getting that, and we've actually had a very similar situation again this week with there it is, previous day point of control, getting a nice little move. Again, over here, as you get this move up, you have this obviously being tested as you come through, but in order to fill the imbalances, you're coming back into that point of control. So the volume profile has been really working really nicely on this. So I've been a little bit selective, but the fact that we're caught within just a tighter range here is giving myself a little bit less to trade, because also on the BTC pair, there's not an awful lot of movement here as well. So we're not seeing these big swings where Ethereum becomes like massively tradable. It is just very much just holding a range right now. I'm going to look at the chat again because I've been rambling. I can't even see where we are in the chat. Amscan, we have solid. Yeah, so we've also got within the crew section. I'll show you some stuff in a minute. So within the crew, we do have a whole Elliott Wave series. We've got a brand new series on harmonics that has just been released. We're in the middle of that at the moment. So that is from another one of our members, Swooping Hawk, has created a really, really amazing harmonics video series for the educational content on that. So that is definitely worth checking out. ETH barely holding previous week value area low and previous month value area high, but seems like even if BTC goes to 16k, ETH will hold previous month value. Where is ETH BTC? See, I'm not really feeling it on ETH, you know? It's the BTC pairs all the way back up the top here. Like, look how high ETH BTC is. Like, honestly, I do think that I would say Ethereum would underperform. Just from where we are. Like, maybe, yeah, locally, okay, we've seen a bit of resilience from Ethereum. It's had a bit more of a move up. But if Bitcoin does move down, like, I'd see Ethereum moving down way, way, way worse. Because, yeah, ultimately, I'm looking down here, $250 on ETH. Now, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but for me, I think that's, if we are going to go through a bit more of a prolonged bear market, $250, $300 isn't out of the question. Dropping down a little bit more. 490 USD, Greg thinks, for Ethereum. Yeah. It was so long ago since I looked at this, so I believe I'd have to have a look back at what the macro is on this. What was it that gave me that conclusion? Is it POC? Yeah. So that's the POC from the previous move up, okay. But you could certainly state a case for, yeah, 480 where you've got a high volume node around there. And then you're coming back into basically the start of the bull run. We going down, are we? We're okay. Taking out previous day low. Where around here? That's just, yeah, you got the gap for now. And again, if we're going over, like, we're kind of mixing in the local stuff, what's going on locally, with some slightly bullish, or at least a little bit of potential relief across the market, with basically an overwhelming narrative that things are going to be going much lower. So again, I don't really want to go over the macro stuff, but if we're unable to get any kind of relief from this, if, say, for example, look, you've got the structure there, okay, we're just coming back down to lows again. This is going to be, you're building that divergence up. You're doing all of the usual kind of stuff that you'd expect to see with price coming down here. It's still contained within this structure, so nothing's really changed. But if this does start to break down, then I think it will accelerate, and I do believe that we're going to see a move down on the S&P that comes down to 3780. So that is the region that I would be looking at for further downside if we do break down from here. Then I think it would be quite a quick move that we would see. And that, of course, will take Bitcoin down to 19,300 and likely even lower than that. Oh, we had, this could be why. Yeah, he had the manufacturing index figures coming out at 3. So yeah, that's just happened. So a small news event that can bring in a little bit of volatility in the market. The double bottom moon boy narrative that will likely be challenged. Would this be here? Yeah. I'm looking at two scenarios, right? So this is what I've spoken about previously. Let's just go on to here. Okay. So we'll extend this. And we have two very distinct scenarios, very distinct possibilities that I am looking at. The first of which is that we are looking at this as a corrective move after this obviously here is the bear market rally. Okay, so we have had the bear market rally. That gave us a good few weeks of really, really, really good upside. And that was really good welcome relief from the market after we've been through basically a whole year of just down, especially with crypto being down even worse. So it was a welcome relief. It didn't last very long. So if, yeah, I mean, if you were unable to kind of make any money and be profitable during that whole run up, then that could have just been it. That could have been that bear market rally. And then we're looking at a very similar situation to us at the moment, being around about this region where we're trying to hold a higher low and trying to rally off of that. But ultimately, if that does fail, then we have a lot more downside to come. And honestly, I believe that that is probably the slightly more likely scenario that we're seeing at the moment. And again, we can go over onto this on, I see a few people commenting about DXY. We are just about to take the highs. And this is significant for myself. So I've had alerts on here for ages. Okay. I do think once this high gets taken, we get a decent pullback. Okay, so this is going to be a 20-year high that we're probably going to see. Hopefully, if this alert goes off, this will be a 20-year high for the dollar index, okay? In September, exactly 20 years after it last did it. So the last time that the dollar index was this high was September 2002. So we are going to get that. We're going to get a 20-year high for the dollar imminently. And if the markets are holding at that point, again, we're talking about narratives and we're talking about reasons in which to make a trade. If we can see that the dollar takes out this high, you're going to be flashing up with news articles. There's going to be all this stuff. Dollar makes a new 20-year high, the DXY 20-year high. You're going to be seeing, okay, look, GBP's falling down. There's going to be that whole thing about GBP parity coming up soon. You've got the euro continuing to crash down here. Okay, still holding support. Okay, so at any demand below a dollar, you've got to be seeing a strong demand. And the fact that the euro is making higher lows whilst the DXY is still pumping is pretty good. Obviously, you got GBP falling apart, you got the JPY falling apart, and you've got all of that kind of stuff as well. Apple's coming down to my next target. Come on. I'm already starting to get the alerts as this goes off. It hasn't made a new 20-year high, but I've already had one alert. So on one exchange, this has already taken the highs. It's also a 10-year high for the USD JPY. So this is actually a very, very big moment in the market, okay? You look at when this last high came in. There it is. Okay? 16th of September 2002. It's the last time the dollar was this strong. And this is something else that we went over on the trading room yesterday. So I will just share briefly my thoughts on this. So, the dollar, right? 1980s. Just unbelievably powerful. Okay? Had a very big move down. Again, you come back into here, early 2000s. Very, very strong dollar. Moves back down. And again, are we going to be seeing where this high gets taken? Again, back here, you had fairly significant liquidity at this point. This was going back, you were looking at 2001, going back 15 years. in order to search up to make those highs? Are we just going to take out these, make another lower high, and then be starting another move to take out the lows? Or are we looking at this as a much more prolonged period of accumulation on the dollar throughout the entire, well, throughout the first 2 decades of this new century, where you have this region here? I'm going to draw these as boxes. So you have a big accumulation, okay, marked by at the bottom, you got a nice little spring and then a test and then a change of market structure. You then come through where you have, can I make this clear? How clear can I make this? Previous resistance, okay, starts to flip into support. So price breaks through, it flips into support, and you go through 1, 2, 3 years of reaccumulation at the high of the range before then rallying on up and putting in a distribution. 3 peaks, 3 clear highs, 1 higher high, 1 lower high at the top before rolling over. Okay, very similar to what Bitcoin did at the top of its bull market back in May. Okay, so very, very similar there. What we've seen here is the same kind of thing. Okay, you have a range that forms here. You have a nice spring at the bottom, you test, you break out, you hold above previous resistance. So this here being previous resistance on the DXY. Now this time, instead of a 3-year accumulation, we've gone through 2014 all the way up to 2022. So you've had a 8-year. Yeah. Is that right? What years did I say? 2014, 6 years to 2020, plus another 2 years. An 8-year reaccumulation. So if we're looking at 3 years in comparison to 8, the potential for a stronger move out of that is just kind of crazy, right? There we go, 20-year highs. And there it is, 20-year highs on the dollar, live. It's not that exciting, but there you go. But anyway, yeah, an 8-year accumulation as opposed to a 3-year. Is that going to be enough to take us above these highs? You would have to say, if looking at the length of time in which this has been accumulating, the fact that it's doing it at the same level, you would have to say that yes, this probably has enough strength to take things way, way, way above where they previously were back in the early 2000s. So the dollar is very strong. It is the strongest that, I mean, as a move up, I don't think it's ever been this powerful. As a move up, it is parabolic. It is very, very clearly parabolic. Okay, you zoom out a little bit here. And you just look at this. And I mean, this is showing absolutely no sign of slowing down. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to pull back. I am very, very confident that because this is so significant, yes, the dollar is strong. Yes, you can't be looking for any major, like to expect all assets to be making new all-time highs because of this tiny bit of liquidity that's just been taken here on the dollar is pretty crazy. But I would not be surprised at all to see the dollar come back to around about that 107, 106.50 region down here. Okay, and that just continues the trend. So what that could give us is, we had it previously, okay, we had it throughout an earlier part in the year where we had the dollar pulling back quite nicely last month, the month before. It gave us a bit of a rally within the market. Now we're seeing the dollar making higher highs. We're seeing the SPX making a higher low. We're seeing Bitcoin making a higher low in comparison to where it was back here. Could that be the strength from the other assets, that if we do see this pullback, we're going to be, again, changing that structure and getting that other move up briefly across the rest of the market? So if we are able to get that pullback, there is no reason why we can't start to move up and start to at least search up towards these monthly levels here, coming back into this trend line. On Bitcoin, there's no reason why you can't really be coming back up here looking for that daily MPOC, getting that small little relief rally again. Now that's all I'm really expecting at this stage, is again a relief rally. And then if that can get continuation, if we can see And the thing is, this is going to be driving everything. So you look at the SPX and you look at the DXY. If you can get a change of market structure here with highs being taken, you maybe come back into this monthly level and then you get continuation here. Then you start to see real opportunities for, okay, this is looking like, I mean, you clearly will have put in a higher low at this point, which is the only real chance that the market has of saving itself. There's someone outside my door. So yeah, there is the opportunity that price could obviously do that. It's coming into the 618. So this is really critical. We're at these really, really, really critical moments now. Bitcoin's holding up strong. Bitcoin's doing okay. Where are we on this? Again, the divergence is there. You've taken out lows. See if they can get a reaction. Your lows here on... Have we taken this? Yes, we have. So we're not really seeing any kind of reaction yet. This is still going. I need to sneeze again, my God. Why am I like this? Greg, you're forgetting where we just hit. Don't say long idea RIP when the long is off of the daily and we've just hit it again and had a reaction off of this. Not RIP. Not just yet, it's not. As a scalp trader, you would still take that. The fact of what we've just done here, any kind of reaction, it's counter trend, it's fine. Counter the local trend. But yeah, absolutely, you've hit that daily level again. This is important support right now. You've just taken liquidity on the SPX after filling the gap. Yes, there's bigger gaps below, but we're looking at scalps at the moment. If any of them turn into something bigger, fair enough. Teach you how to disappear when sneezing. Yeah. Musk wants to launch the rocket. Right. Greg, I don't think people are that silly. And there we go. $20-year highs lasted all of 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. Now, of course, this isn't just gonna... I mean, if this does pull back just from this point here, and you've got 4 minutes, what an anticlimax that would be. I believe we're going to see something similar at this level to the way that the euro reacted when it reached parity. Okay, we saw so many occasions the first time. Let me just get rid of this position. Hide. So the first time that here that we had that euro dollar parity, it lasted just a few seconds, okay? And then again, it dropped below, it started to chop around that level. We spent an extended period of time below that. Again, back here, yeah, you have that parity that's there. So I do think that where we are, because this is very significant, we're not just going to be looking at like, yeah, just crazy rejection from the DXY. It's going to take some time to play out, but this is a very, very pivotal point in the market right now. So realistically, where could you expect this to pull back? And how good is that going to be for the market? I guess you just got to be looking back here. So we have a previous high here. If price can come back, test this, try again, chop around for a little while, and then eventually looking for that move down into that region before getting another bounce. Grandpa's DXY short order got filled finally. Yeah. Waited 20 years. People will certainly be scaling out of the dollar because of this. Emma, you don't think people are that silly? Have you met the general population? Yeah. I mean, yeah, the fact that the world is the way that it is at the moment, maybe there are some people here that are just blindly taking trades off of me talking nonsense on the internet, but I'm literally just here talking nonsense on the internet. No financial advice is given. And there we are again, back above those 20-year highs. Anyway, what we're seeing here as well is quite good. How we have... Oh, we got bullish divergence on this low? No, we've not, but we do have very strong divergence locally that is starting to build up with an increase in open interest here. And this is what you want to see, because as, again, things that I had stated in previous streams, what we always are likely to see as you come into the end of the month, you'll get open interest start to drop. We went from around about $11 billion at the beginning of the week, and then this morning, and this is global open interest across all exchanges, we went from around about $11 billion global open interest down to $9.6 billion global open interest. And you can see that here off of this exchange, how we are just... It was just pulling back. Like, everyone was closing out positions. Everyone was just aware that, okay, we're coming into the end of the month. You don't really want to be positioned too crazy, because at the start of a new month, you're likely to seek liquidity outside of the range. Now what we're doing as we come into September is we're starting to build that back up, okay? So we're starting to generate a little bit of momentum. We're starting to be able to get those positions on either side trapped enough so that there can be a bigger move here. So you'd have to say what we've seen from the low there. And again, we had people in the chat saying like, okay, price is dumping. It's gonna like, we're looking for shorts. Not the case. Okay. You can see short positions starting to enter as we're coming down here. Okay. Nice increase in short positions as you're coming in. Now they're starting to get squeezed. This is what you want to see. Some of those positions starting to get squeezed before you get any major move back. So as a little scalp trade, again, there's your daily level. There's your previous day open. That would be basically, again, just a no-brainer. You have the excess of the lows. You have the drop in open interest. You have shorts opening. So there you can see quite heavy negative delta with shorts opening as you come into those lows at a key level. Okay, 19,800. The key level that I was talking about in my update this morning for the crew. So that being very important support, you come into it, we get a decent bounce. At the same time that price comes into that level, that is the same moment that the DXY took out its significant highs. It's the same moment that the SPX took its liquidity below that gap fill. It's the same moment that everything started to bounce together. So it is all working. It's all kind of working out at the moment. And is this going to be potentially that spring in order to get that move back up towards that value area high? I don't know. But at least what we've had so far is a fairly decent little scalp trade off of this. And we'll see how things go. If we do start to lose the daily level, then yeah, absolutely. We're going to come out and we're going to take out those poor lows, which I still... These are going to get taken. But for myself, what I would like to see is daily level hold, come up here, and then we come and take them later. It just seems a little bit more tradable for me. Rather than this. Maybe that. We'll see. I reckon if DXY keeps pumping, it'll destroy the bearish divergence on the daily. You might just go to bed and grab ETH at the bottom of the channel tomorrow morning. Yeah. I mean, it's a nice rejection off of this so far. Like, I mean, we've been talking about this for ages. Let me find it on here. I was going to put up the Discord. So again, anyone, if there is anybody that is new to the channel, then please do say hello. It'd be great if you guys can introduce yourselves, say hello to the chat. If you are new here and you have not seen the stream before, then welcome. Please do go and check out, when I can find it. Where is it? There it is. Please do go and check out tauruscrypto.com, where you can find out a lot more information about our community. This is very annoying. It's ruined all of our YouTube feed because we've had the YouTube issues after the last couple of weeks, so now everything's destroyed. But I'll see if I can fix this. But yeah, here you can join our free Discord community and you can learn more about the crew membership. So the crew membership is an additional service. Okay, we provide this content for you guys for free. We do the YouTube streams for free, but basically what we do within the crew is we are just always active. Within there, that we do live trading rooms on a daily basis. So we do have Randall tonight, who is we're going to be running the Asia trading room. We've got thousands of hours of educational content. We've got educational content on how to read TPO charts, order flow, Elliott waves, harmonics, Fibonacci's, volume profiles, you name it. We've got educational content on that. That is all stuff that we have. Like, it's not just like, this is specific ways that we can trade it and everything as well. We've got a playbook. So the playbook is a set of just very kind of nice trades that you can take every day. So I can run through a couple of these little playbook strategies. Again, we do have a couple of these on the YouTube already. But I'll have a look in a minute just to give some examples of the playbook strategies that we have and see if there's anything in particular that I can show you guys in a minute. And then we've got, some of the templates that you're seeing being used and so on. Now, what you can also do, I'm slouching, is, oh, there we go. Down in the corner here, we've got a little contact us button. So if anyone is interested in the crew membership, then you can click contact us here. That will take you through to a member of our team and they can answer any questions that they do have. Again, if you're wanting to look at testimonials and all those kind of things, then that is there. What we do offer on top of this is we do offer mentoring. So if anyone is looking for one-to-ones or anything like that, if you want to just talk to myself or to another coach within the community, then we do have the mentoring options there as well. Cool. That is the website, so please do go and check that out. And the other thing I was just going to show is just how long we have been waiting. The educational content is videos. Yes, so they are videos accompanied by PDFs. So we have videos and PDFs. I will show you over here. So this is the Discord. If I can pull this up very quickly. There we go. Okay, so on the Discord here, this is for how long we've been looking at the DXY. So while I was talking about this, I think the DXY is close to a top, but I still like to see liquidity at 109.3 and 109.77 taken before a bigger drop. This is the chart that we were looking at. Okay, here it is. And this is there for ages. This is back when I had like old charts that we were looking at those same areas of liquidity back in June and July, that we were looking at this key level for price to come up. And the fact that we've hit that is pretty amazing. And we finally hit that today. So yeah, a very, very pivotable moment in the market so far. As for the educational content, sure, I'll just show you guys a quick look through that. So we have our beginner series section. These are all videos that you can watch. Technical analysis here, we've got a bunch of stuff, harmonics, pitchforks, CVD, MACD, RSI, stuff on the TPO over here, so footprint charts, volume, initial balance, TPO charts explained, TPO sessions explained. Some more stuff on exo charts there. These are all your playbook strategies. Okay, and we've got a few more of these that are coming out soon. How to trade a V-shaped reversal, how to trade the trident swing failure pattern, the wedges, VWAP open drive, the 80% setup, blah blah blah, initial balance extensions, previous day VWAP close, single prints and TPO levels. You've got an Elliott wave series here, you've got trading psychology stuff here, you've got trading examples here, so these are live trade examples. This is from Luxury, that he creates these live trade examples that are released every Friday. More stuff on harmonics and then a bunch of bonus material here. So yeah, in addition to that, you have the channels. So for myself, every day giving a morning update like this, giving my thoughts. And look, what am I talking about? Where is it? What did I say today? Is this the one from today? Da, 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 da. I'm sure I said something. Yes, I'm expecting a move down before any potential move up from previous day open. Previous day open is important local support, and this will get tested to clean up imbalances. Below that, I'm still looking at liquidity below the four lows. Yeah, you get the idea. And then we have some stuff on here. And then we've got the luxury section. Anyway, enough of this. I'm talking too much. Back to the chart. Where are we at? Still down here. Can it take the London low? It can. Yeah. So what we're looking at so far, London low is the daily low. So that is fairly significant. If we can come down and take out the London low, that would be pretty good. What are we doing over here? Are we starting to get some long positions opening up into this? It's all a little bit flat. So yeah, absolutely. Coming down, taking out the London low. You'd want to see that happen. It's just the timing of this now. We've kind of missed the volatile period. So if we can get this a little bit later on in the day, if we are going to take out the London Open, I would imagine it would happen around about 5-6 p.m. UK, which is often when we get that move. To expect that in the next hour or so, I think it's a little bit more unlikely. The same with this. I think what we're probably quite likely to just have something internal here. Once you've had the initial balance, and I mean we've just done that. So we've had the initial balance. There's going to be a little bit of just balancing out. People are positioned, highs and lows of that initial balance. There's just going to be a period of time where we just settle for a little bit, and that's normally what you see. Again, we don't know for certain, but it's likely that we just see a period of time when price just settles now that IB is in, and then we can come down, take out the lows or take out these highs a little bit later on in the day. So anyway, I am going to wrap this up, because if you guys do want any volatility, then the thing is I'm going to have to stop streaming, because we never really get any moves when I'm live. So it's quite nice that we have seen the DXY taking out the highs today. It's going for another go at it now. It's having another go. But yeah, I am going to wrap things up there. I hope that was useful for people. I feel like I've been talking too much, so I will let you guys get on with your day. But thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one, which will likely be tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Bye.